我们现在发现了，我们来到了这个地图的哈，我们玩到的是我们地图的这个东边左边呐哈，就是西边。我们现在来到这一区，这一区的内容也是很丰富的啊。然后最后我们现在的地点是在这里啊，在这里。这边有一个东西哈，竟然是要用人工巧匠。
The wind has blown a
人工
sand
巧
dune
匠要
in
饿
front of
死
it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
这个人工巧匠要饿死啊，我们没有办法。然后我们这边大部分的区域啊都已经探索过了，也就是几乎整个几乎是整个游戏的整张地图啊。整个游戏的地图啊，几乎都被我们什么声音啊？船的声音啊！整张游戏的地图我们几乎都已经探索过了，大概就是这些内容。这里是可以怎么样？这竟然不能走过去，干嘛这样设计？好哦，这边竟然不能穿过去，我也服了你这个设计了。那边有东西可以捡，还没看到。我们先上去这个台子吧。哟，我靠，我发财了！可能是湿酿酒，小心啊！这个人不知道干嘛，先不要管他，我们先储存好了。看一下这个。
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Crumble. Crumble.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find.
回收啊
No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
OK 啊。
A tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content.
OK, high tar content.
You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet.
Mold.
It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief.
Relief. 这个人是谁啦？你在那边？
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Liberty. Liberty.
Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest.
Beige, 米黄色的 beige.
The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
借书证 library card.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze.
他是不是脚踩空摔倒，然后头被敲到木板上？是这样
Height 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age approximately 50 to 60 years. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here.
对啊，走在这边，他可能掉下去。
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
头部受伤了。
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
对啊，他有可能自己跌倒。
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile.
对啊，有可能他踩空了，然后就撞到。
You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home.
Yes.
The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? and he was married. But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk. Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
对啊。
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Yes, but what if there's a killer on the loose? 2 suspicious deaths in such a short time frame.
A sequence killer? There's nothing that connects those 2 bodies. This is a completely different case, an accident.
对啊，可能性。
Yes, but I just wanted to make it clear it's not a sequence killer, okay? Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
Liver failure.
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body. From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
这个图书馆借书证。
The library card is folded into 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mijon, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55 211.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mijon.
Good idea.
可以啦。好像有什么东西啊？这些好像都不酷啊。好吧，快点啊！这里差不多了。这又是什么？哎，这里可以走啊！哦，这里本来就可以走。哎，那我还要去找那些的音乐小伙子呢。看一下音乐小伙子到底搞什么鬼啊？ 这教堂我还没去搞。音乐小伙子，来吧。
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic, yes, should the future ever come. It will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy. His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
You know.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
I will, lawman.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast. I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
Dope.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Reversholt.
Strike that. The world.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are.
Dope.
Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Oh, if it was just like that, it would be fine. But they're also spooky.
Spooky.
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Yes, I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. The speed freak nods to you.
Not long. Like a week, maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Well, there's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about...
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No!
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone, or something, eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it. You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
鼻烟电台。
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you. Like, you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Non-human means a predator.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man. Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. A cell was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Sure. What? Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no? You're right, they do.
The Pericanassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity!
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters. Feels good.
Yeah!
Do it for the masses! Do it for the crew!
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to... You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
Yes. What? It's for starting engines, man.
Is the amiable speed freak becoming a bit cross with you? Sounds like it.
I guess it does.
You're not completely satisfied yet.
No idea, man.
Did you know ethyl ether is used as a light anesthetic and a solvent and an explosive and for manufacturing amphetamine?
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away. Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. Unlike the girl outside, however, the boy's breathing is regular. Their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated, so they're not under the influence, currently. At least, not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this? He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
思维逻辑
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
What things? I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing. I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
No shit. That's... Come on, that's... I meant to say, not true. We don't need drugs to be hardcore. Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop man. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock.
阿希尔，
We know she has a problem, man. We're working on it. She didn't exactly have a smooth adolescence.
阿希，
What exactly is it you know? What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
What do you mean by lenient?
lenient, lenient.
Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Weathershoal. Because we do! We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
Speed lab.
To get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up. No, man, they're spooky all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there. But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all. Sir, you promised you'd be lenient. We can continue on an amiable path, right? No more misunderstandings, no more lies. Before you go, is there anything else you need? As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harmon.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Here comes the night!
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you... It's good you talked to Andre. Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align. I suck at socialising, man. Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked-up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes headfirst into the supernatural.
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revachel's sister revolution on the Gran Isola. It's known as a severely degenerated rogue.
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it, though. Most of it doesn't exist, but there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist, because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment. I can see that. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve sign synchronicity would...
The young man
This is hardcore. It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibberdanger. Back to the heavyweight. Hardcore! It's hardcore! Skibbity, skip...
反正我要死就好。
the shaggy hit.
So you talked to my associates, right? Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
Delinquents.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask? What did you tell them? Oh, right. That's wise. Take your time. Oh, that. You're not going to believe.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall, upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
A crab and a banger?
Banger.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw. I don't blame you. I mean, I wouldn't believe me either. I'm surprised Noid did. Andre I expected, but Noid... My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Sorry. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
攻打情侣。教堂哦，我会想把这些人把他抓起来。进去吧。
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. The doors remain unchanged, closed with a padlock. The carving on the door is... The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting. Somehow. You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as if in the heart of the city.
真的还假的？所以说呢， 看我现在累积一堆啊，都没在点啊。真的假的？不能跑啊！靠，不能跑是不是？那没关系啊，没关系，不能跑，慢慢来。不能跑就慢慢来吧。越好。祈祷书。真的假的？
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums.
Faintest.
It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything? The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
我靠，这么大，怎么样？这教堂好高啊！
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows. Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
真的假的？
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where'd it prepare for an attack?
真的假的？
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
真的假的？干！真的假的？
Is that a man? A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently.
Tiago，
The crab man. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
Habitual. Oh, habitual.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesque and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesques in Revachol.
I'm here to receive the mother's love. You can too, Holmes. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
Despair.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
他会爬你
Hey, and what was that about, the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here. I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege, saving perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. Nah, ese, it's not like that. Best thing that could happen to you, losing your memory.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellas, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured, by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly. Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will. I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes, that's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound. It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night? I can see, and it saddens me. But devotion can save you. It saved me. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Police raid a while back.
Rape.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything. The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them, guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company. Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
No, I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear. That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer. Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola. Time for the show. For Ta'ulogu Theodos. Monday morning. The moment you were Monday morning. Yes, you spoke the words of the palindropo. The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor.
干，我只是要这个思想而已。好，我不用管了，不想跟他讲了，我继续收集我的情报啊。什么东西？坚韧不拔。探索探索啊，搜刮搜刮。我觉得哈，我真的是累积太多了啊！我要开一个。哎，现在几点了？快9点了吗？我要去耶。这什么东西啊？人言善道，好啦，就用这个好了。赶个9点了，9点之后我要去耶。可以走过来哦，还有良心呢。靠，这是不同的人啊，他们是2个不同的人啊。这个洞是干嘛？
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse?
Courtier.
She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both. A motor carriage, a gunshot, someone falling into it, or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break.
Hooligan.
The escutcheon on her
这
throne
是老
says
妇人哦。
Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale.
Hell.
After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
Feminine.
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Prudence.
Ice cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax painted.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the Small Pinewood Church in some records. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of Delorianism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Delorian in origin. It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The Delorian system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts 300 years ago. The highest category of more, and innocence is infallible. No, we are alone. Many things.
这个东西历
She
史
made the
啊，不
most
需要
of
知道
it.
这
She
个啦。
was it was on her. She was crowned 2 years up. Wow, indeed. Bystand, that is why the lungs, as did we all. In a city,
这
she
都
was
是一
dressed
些
in
编造的历
yes,
史啊，
midwinter.
这个
One
不
of
需
the
要
men,
知道。
something that Dolores, this inhuman,
我在读
terrified.
小说
Although
啊，
she was the most so
而且
the
这就是
mess
假的啦。
suggesting she adored chess. Little is known of her mother. This subtle terror.
Lieutenant Yefreiter, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? That she is. A great sacred piece. I wonder what we are doing here, however. In this church, I mean. the coast in general. We shouldn't linger. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
"这另外一个女的到底是谁啦？"
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's
another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Fell mainframe and a Ream-compatible Interim print. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is you see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds.
Good evening. Votre accident en Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Rapid Station 1. Please repeat.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can... I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One...
Saint-Brun. That's the church. And Rue de Saint-Guylaine? That's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? Sleep well.
The machine's keyboard is nothing happens.
我就问一下那个人啊，他知不知道密码啦？
Oh, hey, Wade.
Coffee in the back. Something familiar about.
Too many times, Essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Don't sweat it, Vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña. Look, man, I'm at liberty to talk about the sacred blaze of the Mother's glorious... I think we're done here, Essay.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant.
不用啦，我解任务啊。
Hey, Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked old... You have the Headless Fallen Rider figurine. Don't be so so very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for.
真的还想了，去买小雕像来这里吗？太假了。
The machine's keyboard is the speaker.
Good evening. Good. Please, good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else? Sleep well.
The machine's keyboard. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he...
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
Eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out, see? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking
这是其中一个佣兵吧？
something.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
这该不会是那一家游戏公司重启，要在这边重启炉灶啊？
I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former
对啊，
co-workers.
前面同一个人在搞啊。
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, The song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with the machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of a strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCN, you see.
There are no coalition military data links. And even if there was, you couldn't access them over a civilian network. No one asked you to do anything interesting with my radio computer. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Oh.那就还蛮酷的啦。唉，看我应该再开一个。好了没啦？
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages.
Okay.
If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager. That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
No. Yes. And I don't care. I don't care about crap men.
Wow, she really doesn't. Not afraid, this one.
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR-1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieux dedicated to that sort of thing. I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core, the light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something. They are connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Turns.
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps. No, I don't. Because I needed something good for my investigation, and RAIN Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards, so I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a RAIN prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see RAIN prefects in every police department, for example.
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIN Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIN Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain. Great. You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what?
2公里洞孔。等一下，你在找那个脑子里面的洞孔吗？
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
Hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the ship.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
Decease.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. I know. No, I don't. Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks. The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks. What?
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Yeah. Like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they? Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music. This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here. Take a guess, why don't you? Bingo! That's exactly what they're up to.
Ah, wonderful. Now this house of worship is also going to be a drug lab. Always something fascinating happening in tents.
So that's settled. Great. No nightclubs in the church then.
好吧，可以走了吧？我要去，可以走了吧？那个人也闪了。靠，我还要拜访哎。我可不可以直接用地图过去啊？看。耶，我还可以啊！好，我现在赶快去找那个抽烟的人哈。天色暗了。哎，怎么样？你到底怎么回事？哦，我都已经解开谜底了。
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
真的假的？
That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you're digging things?
Trust me, you do. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
什么东西啊？
Just look at it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Different, of course. Something so mysterious about the way he talks. Very.
什么意思啊？
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
什么意思啊？干！这什么衣服？
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stability on assignment from Monsieur. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
I got it from the head of the Samaran delegation on my trip to Lomantang. It's made from a special charcoal-colored bamboo. It's an emblem of the formal normalization of our diplomatic relations.
He's alluding to the decade-long war of independence, while deftly brushing aside the complex causes behind the conflict.
That's really all I can tell you about it.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
真的假的？
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. but they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell. I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember. Those funny... Oh, officer, that I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for. I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM. The Coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the Coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
这怎么像日本人在讲英文？
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing... But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Whatever you wish, officer. Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulin's Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Fine, au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend, too. Sorry, who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
干妈的，这个男的是一个鸡
He's
吗？
deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
干妈的，他是，这是。
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen.
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I'm all ears, officer. My friend. What about him? Kedra is a candidate member. That it's never going to happen. It's war. Kedra's an emerging market. But I'm all ears, officer. A moment.
那男的是一个男妓呀。
Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Privilege.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
妈的，济南啊！怎么还没完成呢？我再开一个好了。济南。 这种不能过去啊！我们都不能过去啊！不能过去就算了。我可以画图了吧？
Paintbrush? Check. Heavy. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind.
Haha, 就这样子啊。
You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city.
Detritus.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I...
讲话怎么那么酸啊？
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
The lieutenant is hatred. The woman on the...
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. On a first-name basis with pigs, not half as dumb as... Can't you tell? I haven't really started. This place is... I thought I'd mix it up. You know, yeah?
Let's be realistic.
You heard your part.
I don't condone the idea of using physical force on her. She's a girl.
I ain't no...
Actually...
We weren't put on this earth to make your life... Ooh.
She does have eyes that seem to be smitten.
It doesn't...
The inspiration will come to her once hell is set loose on...
Yes. I keep... It doesn't...
The inspiration will come...
Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do. They just...
Her neurons must be on fire.
If you're from a guy on Buggy Street, Porta Rosa, go there after midnight, and you can get all kinds of funny things. Veterans of the People's Pile selling their stash.
真的还假的？午夜过后是不是？
She immediately regrets telling you, but it's too late. Her neurons must be on fire. The heat creating waves and ripples in.
If you're really interested, then I'm sorry. But I don't do anti-radiation drugs anymore, so I don't know where to get them. From a guy on Buggy Street, Porta Rosa. Go there after midnight, and you can get all kinds of funny things. Veterans of the People's Pile selling their stash.
She immediately regrets telling you, but it's too late.
户籍街。我希望他们还没睡。走啦。
Can I help you? What is this thing? Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting my time and yours? Do I have a shaker in my hand?
It's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing. It is but an imitation.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? Because I'm not a...
What you want is a god. Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal.
Like what?
靠！我以为他会给我白白住一晚呢，去！看他妈！我要现在去买小骑士啊，小骑士。等一下，我要买这个。
The boomboxes wait on the shelves.
And here you are.
然后我要拿这个录音带啊。
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cesons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Nothing to do with this right now. It's just a racist. The porter reel is just what you needed. You press the large button marked. It sounds like someone's moving, telling you a click, then silence for a bit. Nothing to do with this right now.
就这样啊，妈的，我买了。小骑士呢？
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. So this set of soldiers isn't...
You're probably... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. Maybe.
Big men on big...
I used to be very serious about my Franco-Nigerian night.
They're not all blue.
Which ones? Ah, those. Yeah.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols.
You're probably... I think their poverty... I don't like it.
This set of
You're probably... I think they're Okay. I don't...
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and They're not all blue.
我不是要买吗？奇怪。
Which ones?
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look
You're probably... I think their poverty has been I don't like...
我看一下我的那个哈。身上所有小雕像，我有什么小雕像吗？小雕像，这个吧？我已经买了啊，我应该已经买了。
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. It all starts with the tape. Sure, let me have a... Alright, let's see it.
No. No.
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't need bloodthirsty mercenaries knocking on my door. Besides, this gear costs a fortune. There's no one in Martinez with that kind of money. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Huh?
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. More than sure. What else have you got? Anything else you're thinking of selling?
富集街，先不卖啊，这卖也没多少钱啊。
Another time, perhaps.
有什么衣服啊？
What a shirt. All other shirts pale in comparison to the muscular man with...
Welcome to Hyundai, officer.
我不是已经买了这个吗？
All the old boom. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among...
太贵啦，这有可以买的吗？
You see rows of toys.
好了，我已经买了那个小骑士了。 收摊啊！哎，赶去那个人不知道关他不知道那个人没啊？看有个暗的啦。有点可怕啊。说，哎，怎么一个人在那边？一个人在那边不开灯啊
it's you again. Very good. That would be 7 real on universal die for Wirral Untethered.
Okay.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone.
天人感应，帽子啊，这帽子没有吗？无感发达，无感发达，逻辑思维。天人感应。我需要知道吗？
it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
我试试看啊，存档，储存档案。天人感应，天人感应是体格啊哈。
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for?
天人感应，天人感应，这个啊，天人感应，这个我要卖掉，很多衣服哎。天人感应，天人感应，干天人感应呢？我现在超级天人感应的了，超天人感应，伸手。伸手，很奇怪，有时候可以吃，有时候不能吃。没关系啊，
it's you again.
冲
Are
一
you
波
looking
吧。
for a die?
Aside from getting naked,
唉，就这样吧。好了，我想出去了，我想要直接出去了。 想要直接出去。好了，我不是要在这边睡了哦。我要睡了。
It's getting cold. This late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Yeah. 这怎么弄啊？假设我给他钱的话，
Hey, was there something you got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night.
How could anyone forget, asshole? The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives. You should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce.
Stop that.
你去睡吧。这时候我可以去找妹子啊。可以去找妹子。妹子喜欢听音乐吗？
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's in your mind, officer?
好，循循善诱。
Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Hi. And why so?
Life world. Someone's.
Oh, yeah. Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals.
It's going to be quite a few years before.
I understand, but daydreaming is a rich man's game. At
循
sea,
循善
you
诱
can't
啊！
afford to be careless and dream. Anyway,
他妈循循善诱，循循善诱，心智。我来挑战一下啊！挑战失败就算了啊。循循善诱，心智啊，心智这个啊，可以吗？不能吃啊，奇怪，这个有些怎么装过就不能吃了呢？心智这个啊，奇怪不能吃。哎，你别跟我讲说，你不要跟我讲说，拔下来就不能再吃了。衣服上面循循善诱有吗？好，循循善诱，循循善诱，循循善诱。 这个。这个啊，这边3右。没办法。
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast.
Oh, yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way.
Alcohol? Connect? I'm not sure I'm following you. That's a good impression.
She doesn't even understand. You asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.